You ever stop and think, who actually built the Marvel Universe? Sure, we've got gods, superheroes, and beings that can rewrite reality with a snap, but someone had to be there first. Someone had to start it all. That's where the Celestials come in. They aren't just powerful. They're primordial, ancient forces that have shaped galaxies, rewritten histories, and left their fingerprints on almost every major event in Marvel's cosmic timeline. But the real question is, why? Why do they exist? What's their purpose? And how did Marvel weave them into their stories in a way that makes them feel bigger than gods? Let's dive into the cosmic mystery, the origins of the Celestials. Before the universe as we know it, before the Big Bang, before time itself, there was the first firmament. Think of it as the very first version of existence, a lonely, unchanging void. And inside that void, the firmament created its first children. Two factions emerged, the aspirants who wanted to serve and worship their creator, and the Celestials who had a different idea. They didn't want to preserve the old order. They wanted evolution, change, chaos. And so began the Celestial War. The battle between these two factions was so catastrophic that it shattered the first firmament into pieces, scattering reality itself and creating what we now know as the multiverse. That's right. The entire Marvel Multiverse exists because the Celestials broke the original one. After that, they didn't stop. They traveled across galaxies, seeding life, experimenting with species, deciding the fate of entire civilizations. Their experiments led to the birth of powerful beings, the Eternals, the Deviants, mutants, even humanity itself. They weren't just observers in the universe. They were sculptors, shaping existence on a grand scale. How Celestials are born. Now, here's where things get really interesting. How does something that powerful even come into existence? Well, the process isn't exactly peaceful. In both the comics and the MCU, Celestials are born inside planets, literally. They implant their essence deep within a world, feeding off the life force of the creatures living there. The more intelligent beings on the planet, the stronger the celestial embryo grows. Then, when it's ready, it erupts from the planet's core, destroying everything in a cataclysmic event known as the emergence. That's right. Every civilization the Celestials cultivate, they're not doing it out of kindness. They're doing it because, in the end, they need to feed. Why did Marvel introduce the Celestials? So why did Marvel create these cosmic titans in the first place? Well, the answer is bigger than just lore building. First, scale. Marvel needed a way to make their universe feel massive, something grander than just Earth's heroes punching bad guys. The Celestials aren't just gods. They made gods. They predate the universe itself, giving Marvel a way to explore ideas of creation, destruction, and cosmic balance. Then, there's power. Ever wonder why certain characters have insane abilities? Mutants, Eternals, even superhumans. Many of them exist because of celestial experiments. They seeded evolution itself, creating the X gene and other enhancements that shaped Marvel's most powerful beings. And of course, we can't forget conflict. Celestials aren't just background figures, they're a force of judgment. They decide which civilizations live, which ones die, and sometimes they return, just to remind us how insignificant we really are. Famous Celestials and their impact. Throughout Marvel's history, some Celestials have left bigger marks than others. Arishem the Judge, the one who decides which planets deserve to survive. We saw him loom over Earth in Eternals, but in the comics, his judgment has wiped out entire species. Tiamut, the dreaming Celestial, a sleeping giant buried within Earth, whose awakening could rewrite history itself. Exitar, the Executioner. When Arishem gives a thumbs down, Exitar is the one who delivers the sentence. The one above all, celestial. Not to be confused with the true supreme being of Marvel, this celestial is the closest thing their kind has to a leader. And then, of course, there's Ego the Living Planet. Though, let's be real, his MCU version is very different from how Celestials actually function in the comics. Celestials in the MCU. What's next? So what does all of this mean for the Marvel Cinematic Universe? We've already seen Celestials make their presence known, but it's clear they're far from done. Arishem left Earth with an ominous warning, and with upcoming cosmic threats like Galactus and Kang, the Celestials could play an even bigger role in shaping the MCU's future. The real question is, are they creators, or are they destroyers? And if they ever decide Earth isn't worth keeping, who's going to stop them? Celestials aren't just another group of powerful beings. They are the defining force behind Marvel's cosmic history. They control life, death, evolution, and even the very fabric of reality itself. And the scariest part? They don't care about us.